Okay, so I have a lot on my mind, and I want to do a video because I like videos better. It's easier for me, and there's no misunderstanding in reading as opposed to hearing what I have to say. I made a crack the other day that our staff was dropping like flies, and shoot, we had another 2 drop just in the last couple of days, and I wanted to throw some things out there and ask some questions and also express some of what I'm feeling or what's coming up for me. And for the most part, I think the biggest question I'm having is, what are we as staff and seniors and the legacy team, what are we creating? What is it that our personal time or essence or whatever, like what are we creating for the space or the container of the training, of future trainings, of the attendees that are there? What is it? And what are we each really bringing? Not what are we committed to, and not what are we, our personality style, fuck that shit. Like, what are we really, who are we being, and who are we doing? How are we doing in a way that's going to set the context? So, I know there is a question of open versus committed when we start the journey. And I really didn't pay attention to who's open and who's committed and, so on and so forth. But, I question commitment. And I question commitment from a place of anybody's commitment, even my own, right? My own commitment as well. So I'm not excluded from this conversation. I'm included. What is it that commitment really is, right? Is there such a thing of a senior commitment? Look, I get if you have family, if you have kids, right? Those things come first. They do. They should. And also should is shit. So, you've got, what do the Marines say? God, country, whatever, Marine. Anyway. So we have them. I get that. And yet, with people that are stepping down for reasons, in the circumstances and reasons can make sense. And, heck, I'm not saying I would do it any differently should it be me. Although I also know for myself and for Lillian, and I say that because we live together, she might kill me for this, but once I said I was committed and that I was going to come in and staff, just making that commitment has encouraged me to play a bigger game, to clean up relationships and crap that I haven't cleaned up, because what I'm committed to is being the space of in the container for excellence and diligence and rigor and breakthrough and all that stuff. Regardless if it's easy, regardless if I want to, regardless if I need to. I believe that what and who I am as a staff or senior is the context, and it's not what I want to bring and who am I going to be, right? What am I bringing? It's how do I show up in the moments that are tough, right? There's something that says, and I'm going to paraphrase it, right? But, champions or leaders, I love champions. So champions are those that are champions when nobody's watching, right? What do we do when it gets tough and when nobody's looking? So the question to me, commitment is, is there really ever a senior commitment? It's just, what am I committed to in that moment, right? I'm not committed to, one thing can have more importance, but can I use it's my senior commitment or that comes first as an easy way out, which I know personally I have. I can say, listen, I can't go, I got to do work, whatever, that's most important. And I might actually do that before I really look at all the options. And listen, I might have looked at all the options and the result isn't any different. My question is, and my question for all of us, those who are stepping off and those who are still in, for part one or for whatever part or whatever for the journey or whatever you were initially committed to is what are we the context for? Like I gotta say, and from a place of responsibility, right, is how are we all being in our lives such that circumstances are starting to take over and circumstances are starting to win. Win in that we're losing people to staff. If that's a win or loss, this is how my mind works. I'm always questioning everything that comes out of my mouth. Scary up here. But ultimately I want to get a further understanding for and have people understand me and what it means for each of us when we say we're committed. Right? You hear Francine say like no shit and level 7 commitment and yeah, whatever. Listen, you say level 7, I say like no shit. Who knows if that means the same to each other or not? And when it gets tough, does all that drop? And what is it that we can do differently or do the same or bring or be whoever to create the results that we want? So, for specifically like Chase, I get where, you've got your business and I don't know the specifics. I know there's an event and I know those things take a lot of space, and a lot of time and a lot of direct from you, if you are the face of that. My thought though is, and I'm not questioning you, but I'm questioning like the commitment part, right? And if I was your senior or you were senioring me and I was pulling the same, I would hope that you would ask me, like, where is that supporting you, or is it supporting you to be able to go, I got to do my business first? Is there a way that, or did you go to a place that is the hard place to look to go, wait a minute, I'm committed to both of these things, and what do I do now? Right? And listen, I know you're a good dude and good guy, and I'm sure the question or the answers the decision that you had to make given the questions that you were asking or that came up for you weren't easy, and it's not an easy decision. But I look at it and go, hey, dude, if something happened, right? And this is the question I ask when people say I can't be there for, I have to be somewhere else. Is I always say and think, if I weren't able to be there, like I got in a car accident and I'm in the hospital, or, a family member or something and I had to go, or whatever, I couldn't be there, would the thing still go on without me? Would it actually still go without me? And if it's my business, is me being able to have the thing go on without me the thing that's going to help my business grow and get me out of being the bottleneck of my business? It's a great business question to ask, is how do I have the business grow without me being the water or the soil? I just have to be the sun, which I don't do anything. What do I normally do? Wake up in the morning and go to bed at night. That's it. So anyway, I would ask that. The same, Shauna today, something with the class. I read it and, great. It's a class. Great. You made your decision. That's awesome. And, I saw Josie said, what else is possible? I ask, same thing. If you didn't have the class, can you cancel it? I mean, that's all doing stuff. But are we the container right now for when it's easy, we'll commit? I know for me personally, I'm lucky enough that some things changed and moved, and I'm able to put the time in. And yet I've made decisions in the past where, I didn't want to do it for time excuses too. And I also had crap against gratitude and my own judgment and my own thing that I was saying, you know what, if I'm a part of the process, even though I don't agree with some of the processes, then I'm putting my seal of approval on. And I realized that was the easy way out for me. That was my excuse. That was my easy way out to not have to play. So, and this time, Lillian, my love, said, go clean that shit up, because I'm not going to play with you if you still aren't clean and you're just doing this for me or to be together while we do this part of the journey. So, I've gone and had clearings and conversations and, things that I've been avoiding for a couple of years so that I could come and play. And for me, that's not easy, right? It's a different decision, but it's the same process. I'm committed. So I'm doing the things personally in my life too, cleaning up personal relationships and personal mess. Like even before I get into part one, I'm going to be the space for and the context for clean living, aggressive breakthrough, attention to detail, all these things that, I've been letting go because it's been easy to let go. I know Lillian has adjusted her schedule. We decided, committed 2 months ago, 3 months ago to doing this. She has changed so many shifts. She's been working 140, 160 hours a week to be able to bank the time, to take the time off. I mean, if I were to add it up, I'm going to bet that she's probably going to lose just in not training her clients $2,000 to $3,000 between part one and part two. It's a lot of cash. And the clients aren't going to be able to see her, and she's got to shift stuff around. And, it's a substantial effort that's going into we are committed, right? We are committed. And because I said I'm committed, I'm going in with, I'll figure it out. I said I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. And unless I'm dead, I'm going to be there. And I'm going to be there in a clean, healthy way. And if it makes me stretch into things that I get to grow, great. And if it means I make some hard decisions, great. But, and again, don't take this as judgment. I get people are off for the health and whatever. And my question is, what questions are we asking ourselves as people, and what are we the context and the container for? And I ask it as if I'm looking at me going, if this is showing up in my space, if it were possible that I'm not bringing enough of it, right? Who do I get to be so that this isn't what we are creating? And I don't want to have people dropping off because I believe it doesn't support what we're up to in relationship and communication and, and in team. Personally, here's a team thing. Here's what came up for me on a team level is, did anybody actually go, hey guys, this is the challenge I'm having. Is there anything you can do to support? Or this is what's coming up for me. I believe being open and vulnerable and real with our teammates also is going to set the context for our attendees having breakthroughs. For somebody else's monkey to be able to come in the room and already feel that it's safe for them to say anything, do anything, break through anything, and push because we as staff have already cleared that. We've made that space. We bring that energy into the room already. So I'm bringing into the room right now is questions, tough ones, not from a place of judgment, not from a place of I know better or I'm holier than thou or righteous, which I can get. Yes, I'm a little tagged because I didn't know and I don't know. And I feel like, we over here are working and done a lot and sacrificed a lot already to make sure that we're able to do this. We said we're committed. I'm going to be there. Or, there's a lot that's getting in my way if I'm not. But I believe we have the right to ask each other. And I hope that if there's something showing up from me that, you as my team and my staff mates and senior mates or whatever we call those, would ask the same. Because, I'm not here to let anybody slide or be easy. And I'm not here to have anybody let me slide. I think that's most of what I wanted to say. And yet, yeah, I think that's it. Listen, who are we when nobody's looking, and who are we when it gets tough? And where are we deciding from? And are we a stand for each other? Even to ask. As scary as it be, because now you guys are looking and go, that guy's a dick. Who does he think he is? And I got to ask anyway.